Hey guys, welcome to another one of our reviews. I'm the Worm. This is the Proton. Today we're doing a review on something that I bought from escape.co.uk. I don't know, it was like a month ago that I bought it, and we just kind of got logged down with loads of stuff to review that was obviously sent through free of charge. And obviously they get priority on stuff that we bought unless it's something that's like over 50 quid. Then it gets reviewed instantly.
God. Right, what are we doing? Today we're doing the Kanger Pro Tank. As Worm said, he got it from vaporscape.co.uk. And it was something gone.
Yeah, we're not going to go into close-up times, but that's basically what you get inside.
We'll show you how to do your 80 head and all that kind of stuff, but it's a Pro Tank. We toyed with buying one of these for quite a long time. Just because of how it looks and the fact that we thought sort of Kanger had been revamped and everything else. And then we were sent through an e-bod, and after that really performed, stood up to all the torture that we put it through, and it just kept going and really good vape for what it was. Kind of Worm's like, yeah, I'll definitely get a Pro Tank thing, because the faith was restored back into the Kanger. So yeah, Worm basically went ahead and bought one. What are we going to do? What are we doing?
Right.
Should we show them what you get in the thing properly?
Yeah, right, okay. Basically, you get your Pro Tank.
Did we say what the price is?
No, $16.99.
$16.99. ECR 69, guys. If you want 10% off, don't forget it's not ours. It's a Scots, but
so yeah, Pro Tank. You do get a plimp for this.
Ego
for your Ego battery, and you get one spare head. Obviously there's one already in the device, so you can just basically fill it up and go.
It's not too bad. 2 spare heads, an Ego plinth and a Pro Tank for $16.99. I think that's unreasonable. What are the 8 heads that come with it? Are they both the same resistance?
I don't know.
Poor and sloppy.
2.4s.
2 2.4s, okay.
And a 1.8.
Oh. So a 2.4 and a 1.8 basically.
Yeah, I said a 2.4, you went, oh, 2.4s.
You said zzz, it's in plural.
No, lies.
Whatever, it's on film. Okay, so you get a 1.8 and a 2.4 with it. Standard procedure. What are you going to do? Shut up close to the knurling and all that in the air grooves.
This is obviously your Pro Tank.
Passes the mouse off focus for you.
Focus. There we go. There's your Kanger Pro Tank with a little
Kanger Tech on the front. Nice.
It is a glass tank.
Post, isn't it?
Yeah. It's glass, isn't it?
Yeah, but
you've got some knurling on the bottom there, but that's just for you to grip. There's your head, and that just also got some grooves cut into it just for some bit of grip, and that just screws out in and out to when you replace your coil system.
Show base for 5, 10 years. Got a cut of no base. Base.
That is the base.
It's not the base, is it? Flip it round. Honestly. Base. There you go. You've got a cut of 5. You've got a 510. You've got a couple of grooves cut in there, guys. So you can flush mount it if you choose to do so, depending on what device you've got, to provide air feed for your device or for your Pro Tank. Sorry. So yeah, that's a plus straight away. The machine quality is actually pretty good. Screw threads are all as should be. What we're going to do? Are we going to fill it? Have a little vape?
Yeah,
and
sure.
Just have a general flap about it. Okay.
Fill it.
Okay. Well,
I've got some duty, just some random stuff we knocked up.
Worm will show you how to fill it. Yeah.
Same as any other Kanger really. Upside down. You got a little bit down the centre there. Don't go down straight down that centre tube, because that will just go straight onto your hand, because that goes straight to. That's your air hole, which goes up there.
Indeed.
So just fill it down the side into the actual tank. Just fill up to the actual top of it, and then basically, I'm not going to shout up close because
he's being lazy.
I'm not being lazy.
You are being lazy. He's been a massive lazy man, Fanny.
You can't see anything down there, look.
Yeah.
What could you see?
Juice. Yeah, 45 degrees, and just fill it up until basically to the top of that tube, and your head slips in. As we pointed out in a few other devices, EVOD, even with the T3 that we had, filling it this way is nice because it means you whack your head out and stick a new one in without losing a load of juice, which is obviously a tremendous plus. And then basically, once you've filled it, give it a minute, give it a couple of dry pulls just to put a bit of that juice through so that we can obviously saturate before you start lighting them coils up. Yeah, basically. We are really on the fly today, guys. We didn't plan this at all. We have no idea what we're doing, as per usual. With the Pro Tank, It is is it 2.5 mil capacity on that one? 2.4 mil
2.4,
capacity.
yeah.
So that's not too bad, I don't think.
But I do want to point out that the original head that come with it, the 1.8, I think it was in there, didn't perform great. It really didn't. Mr. Proton actually re-rigged it yesterday, and it's performing at least twice as good as it was. At least. I mean, not knocking the Evo or anything, because they're basically the same heads that go in it, but in the Pro Tank,
they're not the same heads, are they?
Basically, no, but the
design.
Yeah, they're basically the same heads. So
you've got that silly welder, haven't you? With
yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just like since Mr. Proton's re-rigged it, it just seems to work a mile better. So
we did only try that one head in it though. So the other one that's actually with the kit may have sorted that. It's just one was like chucked it aside, and I was like, you know what, I'll just re-wick one, because it doesn't matter how good that head in that kit's going to be. This one is going to be better than that. Wicking your own is always better. They just don't. I don't know why, because if we can do it, so should they be able to. But mass design. I think also that most replacement 80 heads, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure most of them use nichrome. One reason it's cheaper, but I don't rate the flavour of nichrome anywhere near as high as I do Kanthal. So something to consider. If you want to see how to re-wick a Kanger head, Pro Tank head, just go over to the e-bod re-wicking video. It's exactly the same process, exactly the same. Even with the silicone bung not going in the bottom properly.
Yeah, that was.
Admittedly, I wasn't on camera, so it wasn't quite as bad, but still, it was there.
Yeah, I mean, it's Pro Tank. I mean, it does look really good and all that. It's just head I had out of it just didn't do what I was hoping. Like all the reviews that were online about this thing performing so amazingly out the box and doing that, they're lying.
No, you can't say that.
I just did.
No,
they are lying.
I don't think they're lying at all.
Even with this head that you re-rigged,
yeah,
a Nova is still better.
An Evo's better. An original Nova isn't. I don't think.
You don't think?
I don't think no.
Well,
I don't think. I think the original Nova. It depends on what kind of vapor you are. This is a looser draw than the original Nova. It won't suffer with wicking as much as the original Nova does or did. And personally, I think it looks a lot better. I think this is better than the original Nova. If you're comparing it to something like the new Smock Novas with the spring-loaded centre pin and they've got a looser draw, then no, it's not quite as good as those. But again, to get the best out of them, you've got to re-wick your own 80 heads and everything else. The same with any real clearomizer. If you put
yeah, but I'm talking about out of the box and that.
Out the box. Well, no, I mean, but I know a lot of reviewers have had problems out of the box with this. I know, like, take Basado, for example, pulled out a hippie wick. We did try that, didn't you?
Yeah.
We tried pulling out a hippie wick, pulling out both hippie wicks, because there was a wicking issue. Then there was an over wicking issue once the hippie wick had been removed. Then we tried our own hippie wick, wasn't it? Yeah. And it wasn't stacking up. Yeah, guys, we do chase the perfect vape, and we do hit drippers and expensive tanks and stuff now and again. A lot, to be honest with you. We try and get our day-to-day vape we make as best as we can. So moving from that onto something like a clearomizer, yes, there are going to be quality differences. There are just in the terms of the amount of vape you get and the flavour and stuff. But for what it is, for a clearomizer that costs 17 quid, you don't expect it to perform like a dripper where you have to put a lot of work into it. They can be anywhere between £5 and £100. You know, same with tanks, anywhere between sort of 30 and 150 quid, and jennies and everything else that comes into play. Each kind of device is going to perform differently. So you just bear that in mind. This is a clearomizer, so you're putting this in the class with V3s or C5s, Novas, all that kind of thing. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it lives up to the hype that surrounds it. Personally, anyway, I really don't.
So they're lying.
No, I don't think they are lying. I don't think they are.
I mean, maybe there are a few people out there that have generally got a Kanger Pro and it's just fucking worked beautifully out of the box. But
like there was with the T3s.
Yeah.
I don't think people are lying. I don't think you really think that either. I think our views are different, yes, but I don't think other people are lying, no.
But the amount of trouble I've had with this from a clearomizer that should just come with a coil that should just work, that I could pick up any probably Nova head that's been sitting on that side for like been used a million times and still perform better out the used one that's been washed a few times. It's going to perform better than this did out of the box, and it just will because it did.
Yeah, but the Novas had their own issues.
Yeah, they did have their own issues. I'm not saying they didn't have their own issues, but the fact that the coil isn't working isn't one of them.
Well, yeah, it was. In the original Nova, you overscrewed the coil and it blew. that's an issue straight away. I think that issue is worse than the Protex issue straight away. Well, that every device has its issues. I think sometimes expectations can be a little bit too high for something to just work. Don't be wrong. I think that if people are paying their money, you should get a product that works. So if you bought a car and the wheel fell off, you'd be taking that thing back and having a big old shout at the dealer. It's kind of a similar thing. I think we all kind of want things to work when we buy them, but we've got to appreciate that no matter where you buy it from, eventually something's not going to work, whether it be vaping gear or anything else, especially since most of this stuff's made in China.
But that's 2 strikes against Kanger.
It is 2 strikes, but well, it's not like the first strike, is it though? Should we get into let's get into the 5-point here, and then we'll come back on the flip side and have a little look about it.
It does look really good. Kanger stuff just does look good. You can't knock them down there. The Kanger stuff is very, very well designed in terms of looks. So 10. It is a 10.
Looks, yeah, love it. I really, really do. I think it looks awesome. You can't put your own drip tip in that bun, and it's a little bit more expensive than equivalent clearomizers, but you're getting a lot more for your money. You're getting Pyrex glass, which isn't going to crack under your fluid or your menthols and citrus flavors. You're getting some actual decent bit of metal work in here. Most clearos are just polycarbonate, and I don't think the price is bad at all when a Nova's only £6 cheaper. I think for what you're actually getting in terms of
depending on where you shop.
Depending on where you shop, yeah. I mean, if you go to somewhere like totally wicked for a Nova, it's going to cost you £1, £2 at best cheaper for a Nova. In which case, like the materials here that are used are far more in terms of cost. So yeah, it looks it's definitely a 10. The only downside is you can't change your drip tip, but take that drip tip away, and I think you take off some of the look.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks 10. Usability. Well, it's a clearomizer. You fill it up, you change your head when it blows, and you wash it out if need be. It's a 10, it really is.
Usability, yeah, Clearo, change the head. Again, you can put them in vodka, stick them in over vodka for 24 hours, let them dry, stick them back in, they're kind of like new. You do that a couple of times, but that knocks it down a bit. So you try and save money, not a reflection on the device. I'm not going to give this a 10 for usability like I would with most Clearos. Main reason being that when you come to wash this out, you can't dry the tank. You wash it out, you've got the base and the head to come out, and you've got that there. You can't get anything in there really to clean it, maybe an earbud or something, but some water down it, and then you've got to sort of shake it and blow in it, and maybe if you're brave, get a bit of tissue and stuff in there. I don't think it's as usable as other Clearos. So I'm going to give it an 8 for usability, just purely because it can be a pain to wash out. That's where I'm sitting for usability.
Maintenance. Well, the maintenance of the device is changing the AGT head. That is all you really need to do to maintain that device, really. I can't really see anything more. Other things, everything else is all set in place, and the only other bit is not losing the bottom bit when you unscrew it to wash it. It's huge, so it ain't even going to go down the sink. So
look, that ain't going down the sink.
So it's a 10 for maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance. It's clear miser. There's not really a lot to maintain. Used in the fashion it's meant for, replacing their heads when they need to be and giving it a wash out. Washing out is slightly more difficult, but it's still just washing a device out. You can't. Do you know what I mean? If you're moaning about washing something out, then stop moaning, basically. Usability. I'm going to give it usability. Maintenance. Sorry, I keep getting them wrong. Maintenance. I'm going to give it a 10 just because it is very easy to maintain, as are most clearomizers of this fashion.
Flavour and vapour is.
I think we should do 2 hits. One what it came with and one what it's with now.
Alright, you want to do 2 hits?
I think.
How it came with: burnt, dry, dry pull it for an hour. You get a flavour hit. Burnt, dry.
I think it was a 2.4 you had in you actually, because if I remember rightly, you was running it at 4 volts, weren't you? Because you couldn't get it any higher than 4 volts without it burning hitting. And I was like, well, on 2.4, that's not right. Do you remember? Yeah, I think it was 2.4, but it was burning a lot.
It was just, you'd get one pull, dry hit, burnt. Then you got to dry pull it for like a good couple of minutes just to get the liquid down into the actual coil, and then you get 2 pulls and then burn and dry hitting again. So as it come, crap, 1 for each.
As it come, I don't think it's quite as bad as that because it was usable. Just had to use low volts, and you didn't get the vape was incredibly cool then though because it's bottom core anyway. Flavour as it came, 5 at best really. It wasn't spondabulous or anything. And vape, I mean, it wasn't bad vape. It was just very cool, and it felt lacking. So I'm gonna give it a 6. But it did feel like it should have been more.
I feel you're being generous there, but
I don't think I am. I think you're being a bit harsh, to be honest with you. I think because your hatred for this device.
Kanger fucked me over twice now. That's it.
Like it's personal against
It is personal.
What about how it is now?
How it is now, with the core that he wrapped, it's what? 1.20?
1.6.
1.6. Flavour. It's alright. It's about an 8. Amount of vapour. About an 8 as well. It's alright. It's just the same as any other Clearo really. It's not performing any better than anything else. It's just the same. So 8s. That's very much where we stick on Clearos for flavour and vapour compared to higher end devices. If it's just in its own category and they're all the Nova's a 10, it's a 10, but it's only hitting the same standards as a Nova. And it's actually a cooler vape than the Nova because obviously it's bottom cooled.
Yeah, we should point out it's going to be a cooler vape. To get it warmer, you're going to have to push it harder, but doing so obviously increases juice consumption, throat hit, and obviously chance of getting burnt hits depending on how hard exactly you're pushing it. If you want to really like a sort of medium to hot vape, you're only going to really get a medium at best, I think. Flavour, yeah, I'd say, I mean, it's on par with an e-bod and Nova, that kind of thing. Flavour's not bad of this now. It's actually, I wouldn't say very good, but it's pretty good for a Clearo.
It's just
it's
at the top end of the Clearo.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I'm going to give it an 8.5 for flavour in its little category because it's not performing bad at all. But I've had to rewick it. Again, though, Novas do perform better when you rewick them, yes. But the gap between those two differences is less. I mean, a Nova and a standard is like 6.5. You rewick it, it's like an 8.5. With this, it is a bigger gap. The head that we had in it wasn't very good. Again, it might just be that one head. We've literally put one head in it, which is incredibly poor of us, but it is how we roll. We haven't really used it too much. We've used it enough, but not like we have a Nova. Novas went through like 3 months worth of torture. This has had about a week's worth of sort of medium use. So that is what it is. Vapor, I think the vape off is actually pretty good. It's a very cool vape, but it is quite a lot of vapour, so I'm going to give it a 9 for vapour. I don't think it's performing too bad for vapour, and in general I'm preferring the draw of this. It's an area draw. If I use an Nova now, it's like, whereas with this I kind of feel comfortable still using it. It's not like I'm having to adjust how I vape. With an Nova I do, but then I'm used to area devices now than I was when I was on a Nova, so take that into consideration.
Done?
Overall?
Yeah, overall, as a Clearomizer, it's alright once you rewick it. I do have a lot of hate for this, as you can probably tell from this review.
And the look on his face, honestly, it's pissed you right off.
It does, but like, this is a true and honest review. I'm not going to try and hide what I feel about it. It's as it's performing now after recalling it ourselves, which a lot of people that watch our channel do recall a lot of their stuff, so you'll probably quite enjoy this once you get a call in, and that's really nice. Out of the box, I can't recommend it to like anyone that's just going to be replacing heads, because if you get one that comes with it that's bad, it just doesn't put you on a good footing with them. I mean, the rest may be banging, they may be, but they may not be. So on that, I don't know. I cannot push it forward as a high recommendation. You want to put that one in?
Yeah, let's put the head in. It's a Kanger, so we can change heads mid tank. Let's chuck that head in and see how we roll. There you go. I'm gonna let you finish with your flap.
But yeah, out of the box, for people that are just looking to like vape and just get on and do whatever they got to do, stick with your Nova. It's going to be a lot more forgiving device.
Sorry guys, we did mention it well earlier, we haven't actually shown you. You can just, I've got the mouse on a second. Whilst we're changing the head, we might as well go through this very quickly. With the EVOD, your wicks protrude like they did in the Kanger T3. On this, there is a little well, you see, the wicks kind of sit into. And I think, I'm not sure why. I mean, I'm guessing because it creates a seal, a better seal, but surely it would look better without that.
Yeah.
Just something to think about.
Yeah, so if you're quite confident with like silica and your wires and rewicking, you'll probably quite enjoy the Pro Tank as a little Clearomizer that you can just take out whenever you need to, sort of thing. You got 2.4 juice in there. It's going to last you a good couple of hours while you're out if you're a heavy vapor, or all day if you're a light vapor. So yeah, if you like your little tinkering in that, it's not going to be a bad choice. It looks really good on most devices, so yeah, it's going to look fabulous on most devices. Let's be honest. But if you are new, don't start here. That is pretty much my recommendation on this. But overall, has it come out of the box? 5, just because of that coil that was horrid. After Mr. Primary wicked it, 7.
There you go. Sorry guys, a bit of a live tinkering here because we've increased the ohms of this coil, and I just don't like vaping at this kind of level of power, to be honest with you. Even if this is a 1.8 on at best 4.2 at this mechanical. Oh, it's too late now. I'm already half in. I'm just going to stick a kick into this Sigeli. Overall for me, it's a bit of a, sorry guys, no, I'm not. There we go. It's a bit of a tricky one because I love how it looks, I do, and I don't think it performs badly. I mean, we'll confirm just how badly or well when I screw this kick in. Kick may not work with the Sigeli 19 when it's got the magnets at the top. Well, there's something for you guys. It doesn't. Okay, Worm's going to chuck it on the ban mode then. Yeah, overall, I like it. I do. I'm not going to sit here and say that I hate it like Worm does, because I don't.
No draw.
No draw. Okay. Worm's customised his van mode, now it's with no draw. Yeah, overall, I'm not going to say that I hate it like Worm does, because I don't. I do like it. I don't love it. I haven't bought one, it's Worm's, which is probably one of the reasons why I still do like it and he doesn't, because I haven't wasted money on it as far as he's concerned. It has got its problems. It's nowhere near as bad as the T3's problems. It isn't. Is it as good as an eVod? No. It's, in terms of performance, no, it's not. With the stuff you're going to have to live with every day, it's a step in the right direction for sure, and it does look absolutely awesome.
Sorry, it's 2.6.
2.6 ohms.
So run this on 5?
I wouldn't run on 5, no. Bear in mind, your bottom coil clearos are meant to be run lower, so I'd say 4.2, 4.3 really is what that's recommended to run on. I personally run it about 4.5. But
it's on 4.4, so midway.
Okay. Overall for this, my number is going to be a 7.5. I do like it. I love how it looks. I think the draw's nice. I think the design in general is nice. I like the fact it's got a Pyrex tank. I think the price is fairly good. The heads are the same price as every other clearomizer head, so that's not really going to come into play. It's not bad. The flavour of your own Wewick head is better. Flavour with the standard head in. How are we going?
Very hitty. Very hitty. I don't know where it's coming through. Slightly dry, not as.
It's the same to me, mate. Anyway.
It just feels slightly drier than your coil.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It feels like one of them hippie wicks needs to be removed.
It's struggling slightly.
Slightly to wick, very slightly, but it's still performing. The flavour has dropped though, definitely dropped compared to my coil. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7.5 overall. I don't think it's bad. I do think there are better clearomizers for sure. I think the eVod personally is better. You do lose some capacity in the tank. You are down to 1.6 as opposed to 2.4. But then, if I was using this, and this is just me, 2.4 mil probably wouldn't do me an entire day out and about anyway. I'd have to have a juice bottle on, in which case I'd rather top up an eVod twice than have to top up this once.
Yeah.
For the performance difference. This does look awesome on an Ego battery with your cone and stuff. It's going to blend really well, but then so does an eVod. So yeah, basically, I'd recommend an eVod over this definitely, and the price difference is quite substantial compared to an eVod. eVod's about £5 to buy. This is 17 quid, and the eVod only comes with one head though. But then for the extra tenner, you could get yourself another 5. That's kind of where we sit with the Pro Tank. Worm doesn't like it at all. I think it's okay. I don't think it's fantastic. I wouldn't recommend it as a Clearo. I wouldn't.
You can't, can you?
No. In all honesty, I can't recommend this. Do I like it? Yes. Would I recommend that you buy it? No, I wouldn't. It's kind of contradictory. I know it is, but if you want the real good sort of vaping experience from a Clearo, then go with your Nova, especially the new Smart ones. They're really, really good because they've got that springy centre pin. They've got a looser draw. They're cheaper.
They don't struggle with wicking either, do they?
They don't struggle. No, nowhere near as much as the original one did. I'm not sure why that is. You still have to roll when you get to
maybe it's because of the area draw. It's sucking it better than wicks. We don't know.
We have no idea, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'd still recommend. To be honest with you, I'm going to say I'd recommend an e-bod. I wouldn't recommend a Nova. I would recommend an e-bod. That is what I really would. I think the e-bods are better than Nova. I do.
But if you do want the capacity of the 2.5, you got to go with your Nova because obviously that's
Nova take 2. It says 3.5, but really it's like 2.8, wouldn't it?
Yeah, about that, because you don't want to feel above the wicks too much, otherwise you get a slight gurgling issue. But other than that,
yeah, I couldn't recommend it. It's just, for me, I'm not taking it as a hit against Kanger like Worm is. Worm's taking this as a big FU to him personally from everyone at Kanger. A bit like we both did with the T3s, because we wasn't their fan at all. This is definitely better than the T3. It's miles better than the T3, but it still has issues. And I think the main thing that surprised us more than anything with the Pro Tank is the hype that surrounded it. I think that's more what's surprising than anything else. I think that may be playing a part slightly in the reflection in this review, especially because we've seen quite a few reviews of it. We were very interested in it, and we saw a lot of good reviews about it too.
We even had a lot of people that were messaging us on our Facebook group saying like, when are we going to be doing the Pro Tank, blah 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 blah, because obviously they wanted to know if it was any good. So they've obviously been seeing the reviews as well, saying like, yeah, it's banging, it's banging, it's banging, it's banging. It's not banging, it's okay.
Yeah, it is. It's not bad. Had I spent 70 quid on this, where it's performing now, I wouldn't be unhappy about it. I wouldn't be overjoyed either. I wouldn't be unhappy like Worm is, because I wouldn't take it personally. I would just rewick my own heads, which we tend to do anyway, and sort of crack on. Would I use it all the time? No, I wouldn't. I'd use it now and again, but then I don't use a Nova all the time. I don't use an E-Bod all the time. I use drippers. I use the K-Fun. I use other tanks that serve the same purpose, hold more juice and perform better. But that's because I have those things. Yeah, I like it. He doesn't. Does it perform well? Ish. Is it worth the extra money compared to like an e-bod Nova? No, unless you like the build quality. I mean, if you're willing to put work in, and
if you like building your own coils, then you probably will enjoy it, because once you get one of those coils like Mr. Brown Wick, it's going to work good. Not okay. It's going to work good. Still not banging though. It's still not like this is an amazing Clearo. Not.
It's not amazing, but then I don't think any Clearo is truly amazing. You get ones that surprise you.
Yeah.
And we, from the reactions of everyone else, kind of that's what we was expecting. We was expecting something in its category to really surprise us and stand out. Do you know what I mean? Like the e-bod did. We kind of thought it's going to come through, and even if it performs as well as an e-bod, it's going to be a banging Clearo just because it looks really cool.
Yeah, plus it holds more juice.
But it doesn't perform as well as an e-bod, in my opinion, and in yours, definitely not. Which is really, really strange, because we thought they would have nailed this, because these are incredibly popular. I don't see why. Well, I do, it's the looks, but I don't see why people rant and rave about this so much.
It's pretty much the same technology as the e-bod. How can they just be that far apart? And they are, because this is the e-bod is better than that. It's just,
do want to point out the flavour is very, very, very low now. It's dropped quite a bit. Yeah, the actual flavour, not in terms of mark. I mean, the mark I gave it was fair, it's about 5 on the standard head. But compared to the fact that you've just seen it, we've just changed it from one head for another. Same tank, same juice, everything's the same. The flavour we're getting off that now is nowhere near what you're getting off of your own rewicked head. Part of that will be down to the fact that I reckon it's very, very, very slightly struggling to juice it up. I reckon it needs to be one of them hippie wicks out. But then, we've said this before, should you expect to have to put in a little bit of work with these devices? Yes, you should expect to. Is it fair for you to expect to have to put work into these devices? No, it's not. If you buy in an Arga, a K-Fun, a dripper, anything that you actually have to buy a wicking wire to use, or have to have it, yes, it's fair to expect you to put in work to get the best out of it, because it's only ever going to be as good as the coil you can put in it. But with something that's sold like this, mass-produced, meant to be sort of ready to go, does it work? Yes, but nowhere near the level that it could do with a bit of work from their side. And you're paying your money, you should get that extra work.
I'm getting gurgling.
You're getting gurgling? Right, I've pulled it maybe. I've got it running quite high, but put up to 4.7. Well, it's definitely gurgle there.
It's getting worse every ball. So it's not under the wigging at all. Maybe it's over wigging this issue.
But then, even with an overwick, even on a gurgle, you still get the flavour, and the flavour just isn't there. I'm not sure. I mean, again, I think they use nichrome in these coils. I think you'd agree with that. Yes. I don't think it's Canthal at all.
No, it's definitely not.
But it's flooded. This is part of the issue. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I'm not being funny. We're not novice users. We're not going to claim to be anywhere near experts, because we're not. We learn new stuff every day, the same as everyone else does. We watch videos on YouTube the same as you are now if you're watching this. We learn stuff from other reviewers. We try and help people out as much as possible, and people learn stuff from us. We know this because people tell us. But anyone realistically should be able to pick up a Clearo and use it. And if we're struggling, then there are going to be other people who are struggling. Whether it's, I don't think it's a dodgy Kanger. I honestly don't think it's a dodgy head, because my head's working fine in this. It was no overwicking. It's been used quite a bit. The flavour's much better improved. It's just, I think we're getting on to the point where we're coming sort of off of the actual device so much and just onto a rant.
Yes.
And it is going to be a bit of a rant, guys, so we are going to apologise for that. But this is part of the problem with this entire business, is that a lot of it's just about making money. I'm not sure. I don't think that's necessarily the intention of the company. I mean, obviously companies are set up to make money, but I don't think the intention is to sort of make people feel like the product is just there to make money. But at the end of the day, from my point of view anyway, if I was running a business, so I know there are several business vendors who feel the same way that I do, and Worm does, about this, because they have explicitly told us why they don't list certain products on their site. But from my point of view, if I'm running a business, whether it be distributing these, selling these, or making these, I want them to be good. I'd want them to be good. And it doesn't feel like the people that are making these want them to be good. It feels like they think they're good.
And they just bug them out.
And they sell them. These are definitely an improvement over the T3s. Kanger is not the floor of a company anymore that we kind of stated it was in the T3 review. And the E-Wad is amazing. It's an amazing little Clearo. We're not trying to sort of slag off Kanger, but it feels like with this device and several others from different companies, it just, why is there not better effort or better materials? Why is this stuff not going in there? I think it's got to a point now where everyone can sort of say, yes, when we first get into vaping, we're guilty of it. You go on there and you go, geez, it's 15 quid for a tank, and you go, bloody hell, 28 quid for a battery and stuff like that. And when you're first sort of looking at it, you go, well, a pack of fags is only 6 quid. It's 5 times the price of a pack of fags, and you've got to buy that and that and that, and then you've got to buy them to put in it and everything else. It's
a charger, and then this and then that.
It's a confusing world to get into, it is. And if you're going to make these products cheaply, people should expect a cheap product. But this is no longer a cheap product. This is not, yes, it's not expensive, it's £17. It's not overly expensive, but it's not a V3 that costs £4.50. It's not a blister pack that's come with a charger and a Clearo and a 900 mile battery that are subpar as far as I'm concerned in terms of build quality, and you pay sort of 8 quid for it. It's not that. You're paying £17 just for an atomizer tank, or a Clearomizer, sorry. As far as I'm concerned, £17 is a very expensive Clearomizer.
Yeah.
It is. I don't actually, off the top of my head, I can't actually think of one that's more expensive than that. They are out there. I know there are sort of other pro tank style Clearomizers that can have the glass, but you can use your own drip tip, and they use basically a pro tank base with pro tank heads, and they may perform slightly better, but I can't see how. If they're using a base and a head from a pro tank, the only thing they're providing is something to hold the juice and a tube to feed the vape through and the air through, in which case they're going to perform the same. It comes down to at factory with this kind of stuff. It really, really does. I don't expect quality to be super high off of pre-wicked heads. I don't. But if I was,
you expect them to at least.
I expect them to be
work
to par. I expect them to, yeah. I mean, yeah, to work in terms of not burnt, hitting and everything else. I don't expect it every time. I don't, because
when
you're making millions of something, now and again you're going to get a dodgy one. It's just the standard procedure. Well, it wouldn't. I could deal with the fact that the first one burnt it a little bit, because realistically, 1.8 ohm head, 4 volts is pushing its boundaries anyway. Especially on a bottom coil that run on lower volts. Like a 1.8 ohm head on a bottom coil is like 3.5 to 3.7 recommended anyway. So the burn hit I can forgive, because that's kind of down to the user trying to push it. But I can't forgive the fact that handed that protein now, I could not tell you what flavour juice that is. I can't forgive that. I'm sorry, that is unforgivable. You'd have to have a juice.
He's getting more angry like me.
I'm not getting angry like him. This isn't necessarily directed at the Kanger. This is directed at a lot of these kind of devices. But this is, at the minute, quite bad for it, because I know that cherry that knocked up the throat off it was quite intense for a 12 milligram, and the flavour was actually quite a nice flavour. It was not subtle. It was definitely enough that you could go, that is cherry, quite happily. And in that, it's just coming through as a slightly sweet liquid. You can pinpoint what sweetness that's coming from. And I'm sorry, but VG itself is sweet. If I just have an unflavoured liquid, it's slightly sweet because of the VG. So it's not, in my opinion, and I know you're going to agree, but it's not what should be happening. And especially seeing there's someone moving on to this stuff who is then willing to spend that extra money on their first kit, who's willing to buy the Pro Tank and the better battery and a charger.
Now
they'll get it and they'll be put off by this kind of crap.
Now you've seen what a normal head it is like properly, because you only done one or two pulls, dry pulls, and you put it down.
It's not so much this device now, it's just
everything. But now seeing this now, they get no flavour off it. Would you not agree that a Nova is better? Because the flavour comes from a Nova. Even when it's good, you said that. That's what I was pointing out earlier.
A Nova is better for flavour, yeah, on a standard head.
Thank you.
I'd still recommend an E-Bod over that.
I would too, because E-Bods are banging and they're cheaper. Let's put it that way. But if you do want that extra capacity of juice, smoke Nova.
It's bubblegum is so good. Sorry guys. Those of you on the Facebook, and I said I love this juice, la 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 la. This is, I'm vaping this now as we're doing this, but this is what this is. But yeah, this is a rant. It has been a rant. It's been a rant for the last 10 minutes, but it is what it is, and I think a lot of people share this opinion. I will pay the extra. Most of us will. Yes, if you're coming into this, then no, you won't pay the extra, because you're new, you're looking at something, and you're kind of going, well, I only want to spend sort of 50, 60 quid maybe, because I'm only just starting. I don't want to invest hundreds like we have, and I know a lot of you have.
A lot of people will be getting this to get off the facts.
Yeah, I'm not being funny. We hear it a lot when we say to people, when people go, what the hell is that you're using? And we tell them what it is, and they kind of like, ears perk up a little bit, and we tell them how long we've not been smoking, and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 and all the usual bump that I'm sure that many of you who are already vaping would have gone through, and had sort of converted people, if you like, over to the religion that is vaping. It's always, how much does it cost? That's the first question. How much does it cost? How much am I going to have to spend? And you're not going to be buying a Pro Tank for your first tank. You're not. You're going to be buying a V3, a Nova, an E-Bod. You're going to be, but a cheap starter kit is usually, I mean, we recommend the E-Bod starter kit. That is what we, for 40, 45 quid, everything you need barring juice, it's a 60 quid layout, and you're good for your first month. That's what we recommend to people. We never have recommended starter kits until that little one crept in, and it's a very, very good starter kit. So they get that, and it's like, yeah, it's wicked. And people recently, we've recommended them to have bought them, and they're now going, oh, what else can I buy to make it a bit better and a bit better? And that's when they start moving on to looking at Pro Tanks at 17 quid and stuff like that. But for a device that's more made for people that are already vaping, I'll spend an extra £5. Give me heads that are good. Give me a vape that is out of the box as should be. Yes, they're always going to be better when you re-wick them yourself using better materials, but barring that, this should be better than it is, even if it meant we had to pay a bit more for it.
Yeah,
it's not a major thing. I know. I mean, we kind of are aware of the production cost of these things and everything else, and we know a lot of the end result price comes down to the vendor, which is why you can save yourself up to a £5 or 6 quid on Pro Tanks. One place it's 19 quid, one place it's 13 quid. It all depends on profit margins, but
some places got discount codes, some places don't. Blah blah blah.
But again, irrespective, the maker makes better material, makes better product, charges more for it, they go out. These would sell just as well being 3 or 4 quid more expensive. I really believe that, because they're not at the cheap end. People buying these buy them because they want them and they're willing to pay for them. It's as simple as that. So I think we're kind of coming to an end of the rant anyway, because it's one of them things.
I've given up on that. You kind of took over there.
I know. It's
helped me out.
It's not.
It's kind of just me ranting, and then you just kind of.
Yeah, I mean, yours is personally against the Pro Tanks vendetta. It's not with me. Yes, the Pro Tanks what's inspired the rant, but it is a rant in general about this kind of stuff. It is. because it should
got that protein inspired it.
The protein did inspire it. I'm not going to say it's rubbish. I don't think it's rubbish, but it's, in my opinion, and definitely in his, as you can tell, doesn't live up to the hype that preceded it before we bought it anyway. An eVod's a better vape. An eVod is a better vape, I think.
I still use an eVod.
Oh yeah, I mean, when we're after a stealth vape, it won't be a micro light or a cigar like. It will be an eVod on like from a Kanger kit. It'll be one of the Kanger batteries with a Kanger eVod in a pocket, nice and small, and it delivers enough to satisfy us, and we vape things like this. So the eVod is still a very, 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 very good product. And when you figure that it's less than a third of the price of this, it makes it even better. It really does.
I think we're done, then, we, on that?
I think we are.
Okay, you wanted to throw something in the end, didn't you?
Yes, yes. I think the time has come, guys, to be honest with you. We get quite a bit of stuff sent to us in terms of ATs and devices and everything else. And we regularly give stuff away. Not advertised, not to specific people. We'll give it away to whoever we feel deserves and or needs it at the time.
Mainly needs it at the moment.
Mainly, yeah, it is mainly, but it's not just someone goes, oh, I haven't got a job and can't afford to buy this, I can't afford to buy that. We will decide who gets this stuff. It's as simple as that. But we thought we've had a couple of the new UD things sent through to us, and I know a lot of people are interested in them. iGoF being one of them, the AGT being another. They're not cheap.
They're not overly expensive.
They're not super expensive, but they're not cheap, and people don't necessarily want to take a punt on this kind of stuff. So we decided what we're going to do, especially after that rant. I think we should as well. We're going to give something away. What are we going to give away?
The AGT.
We're going to give away the AGT. There we go. Which is a titanium Genesis dripping tank. That's about 1.5 mil capacity. Very well built. We've done a review on it. Feel free to go and have a look if you want to, if you haven't already. So how are we giving this away? What are we going to do? Should we just make it simple?
Yeah, just make it simple. Just
drop us a comment.
Drop us a comment and a like down there.
Yeah, any old comment. Just
put AGT as your comment. Just a single comment on AGT. Anyone who's got AGT and other stuff will not be entered. Just AGT in a single comment and hit the like button and you're in.
If you do have a genuine comment about this video, obviously list that separately as well. As you said, AGT and other comments won't be listed. We're not just going to list every name. I mean, to be honest with you, this is designed more towards people who haven't got an AGT. Obviously, if you've got an AGT,
yeah, because if there's people out there that don't want the AGT, you don't want to enter the conversation, just don't put AGT. Just a single comment on AGT, hit that like button.
What we're going to? How long are we going to run this for? 3 weeks? Should we do 3, 4 weeks?
What are we on now? We're on the 24th. Shall we say 15th?
Okay, yeah, we'll do it on the 15th. 15th is a good day.
Up to the 15th.
Payday. Okay, we'll do it up to the 15th of August. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to give away an AGT. What we'll do is, if you'll just list your names, we'll stick them into a name generator, and then whoever pulls it, we'll get in touch with you. You send us your address.
Via YouTube as well. We'll send you a little message on that saying, give us your postal address, so you don't have to put it anywhere that everybody else can see. So your private messages we send to you, you'll get a little thing saying.
No, I think what we'll do on the 15th, we'll do the generator and whatever else. We'll upload a video and we'll let you know who's won it as well, just so that you know someone's won it. But we'll also contact that person at the same time. What we'll do is, if after a week that person hasn't got back to us, it will be another name. All right, we'll give it a week before we decide not to do it. But we're not going to ask you to cover postage. We'll cover all of that. We're just going to give you the AGT as we get it. We'll clean it all up and stuff, and we'll ship that out to you. Just because we can, basically. So yeah, if you're into Jennies and you're looking at getting into Jennies or anything else, and you want to give one a bash, drop the comment and we'll see what comes up. If 5 people went to this, 1 out of 5 chance, isn't it?
Just remember, guys, if there is like 20 million AGT comments there and only 5 likes,
well, it means you haven't been hitting a like. Not that we can see who's liked it, so not really what we can do, but we do appreciate if you do like it, because it just helps us out a little bit. So yeah, we'll give away the AGT. 15th of next month is when we're going to announce who has won that bad boy. Whether we show you us putting the name to a random generator or not, I don't know. We may be able to record that.
I cannot record on screen.
You can record on screen, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, we'll probably do that then. We'll probably do that. We'll probably have a little video of us saying blah blah blah, this is who won. We'll show you the video and then we'll let you know when it's being shipped out. Obviously, guys, our Facebook and Twitter stuff will be down there. If you want to come along and follow us, please do. Very, very active on Facebook. Twitter, not so much, but we'll get back to you as soon as possible. On YouTube, as active as humanly possible, between jobs and reviews and God knows what else. So, obviously, contact through that as well if you'd like to. I think we're wrapping up.
Yeah.
So, guys, AGT down there if you want it. and we'll announce it very shortly. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry for the rant. I have been Mr. Proton. It's been the Wriggly Worm.
We'll catch you soon,
We'll
guys.
catch you soon.
You got the mouse, don't you?
I do have the mouse.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. I don't have the mouse.
I have the mouse.